Hey everybody, today I'm going to review Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. We have now entered the third and final installment of the Star Wars sequel trilogy. I had such a wonderful experience seeing most of the Star Wars movies and TV shows, as well as visiting the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland. As much as I still love The Last Jedi, I am aware that Star Wars The Last Jedi has gotten some of the mixed reception from the Star Wars fans, even though it still received positive reviews by critics, and the audience did give that Star Wars movie an average grade of A at CinemaScore. However, Star Wars The Last Jedi is still a box office success, grossing more than $1 billion worldwide. But then it all changed when that Han Solo movie, Solo: A Star Wars Story, came out. Although I still think that Solo: A Star Wars Story is entertaining, Solo is my least favorite Star Wars film and was unfortunately the first Star Wars movie to be a box office bomb. Anyway, I am still very excited to see The Rise of Skywalker and hopefully can make up for the failure of the Han Solo movie. It has also been confirmed that The Rise of Skywalker will mark the end of the Skywalker saga. However, I am fully aware that this new Star Wars movie has been receiving mixed reviews. This marks the first Star Wars movie since The Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones to receive mixed reviews. I saw it in IMAX 3D, and I think this new Star Wars movie is excellent. One of the most exciting Star Wars films I had ever seen, and I'm going to tell you why I love this movie without any spoilers. A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, the story of this film took place 1 year after the events of The Last Jedi. The Resistance and the First Order are still at war with each other. Rey is still continuing her Jedi training under the guidance of the Resistance leader, Leia Organa. That is until the Resistance has finally learned that the First Order are now aided by the return of Emperor Palpatine, who is thought to be dead during the event of Return of the Jedi. So Rey, Finn, and Poe Dameron had decided to team up together and join C-3PO, Chewbacca, and BB-8 to go on a quest to lead the Resistance to do their final stand against Kylo Ren and the First Order. On the hero's journey, Rey, Finn, C-3PO, Chewbacca, and BB-8 have encountered Lando Calrissian and some new allies whom they all wanted to help the Resistance to do one big final battle against the First Order. I actually find the story of this film to be pretty good, even though there are some weird and unexpected moments. However, there are also some exciting moments, funny moments, and sad moments as well. Also, there is a surprising twist in this film. The special effects in this film are still very impressive. It is good to know that they all used CGI, practical and stunts at the same time. I can tell that there are some robots and alien creatures that are used in CGI and motion capture, and some used in animatronic. It is so wonderful to see the Millennium Falcon, the X-Wing fighters, the Star Destroyers, and the TIE fighters in this film. The designs of the weapons, the costumes, and the makeups are all unique as always. The action scenes in this film are very intense, nail-biting, and jaw-dropping to watch. I had such an amazing time seeing the laser gun shooting scenes, the chase scenes, the battle between the Resistance and the First Order, and the lightsaber fight between Rey and Kylo Ren. Now for the acting, directing, and music. Daisy Ridley, as always, did a wonderful job playing Rey. Rey, of course, is a former scavenger from Jakku that became a Jedi and a member of the Resistance. She is very brave and is still good at using the Force, driving the spaceships, and fight her enemies with her lightsaber and laser guns. Also returning is Finn, played by John Boyega, Poe Dameron, played by Oscar Isaac, Rose, played by Kelly Marie Tran, Maz Kanata, played by Lupita Nyong'o, Lieutenant Clonix, played by Billy Lord, Chewbacca, played by Jonas Suotamo, C-3PO, played by Anthony Daniels, Luke Skywalker, played by Mark Hamill, R2-D2, BB-8, and Leia Organa, played by the late Carrie Fisher, all still did a wonderful job as always. Finn, the former stormtrooper from the First Order, and Poe Dameron, the high-ranking X-Wing fighter pilot and commander, are both members of the Resistance, and in this film decide to help Rey to lead the Resistance, as well as joining forces with new allies to fight the First Order. Rose, Maz Kanata, Lieutenant Klonix, and R2-D2 are also members and allies of the Resistance. Chewbacca the Wookiee, C-3PO the humanoid droid, and BB-8 in this film have all joined Rey, Finn, and Poe on the journey. Luke Skywalker is owning this film for a short time. Although The Last Jedi is Carrie Fisher's final film appearance, they actually used some of her unreleased footage from The Force Awakens to complete her role as Leia Organa in this film, and I think that's very clever. Coming back from Return of the Jedi is Lando Calrissian, played by Billy D. Williams. I feel so happy to see Lando Calrissian finally return in this film. Lando, of course, is a veteran of the Rebel Alliance, the original owner of the Millennium Falcon, and an old friend of Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, Leia Organa, and Chewbacca. Now in this film, Lando decided to team up with the Resistance to fight off the First Order. Also appearing in this film is Zorii, played by Keri Russell, Jannah, played by Naomi Ackie, Beaumont Kin, played by Dominic Monaghan, who is best known as Merry in the Lord of the Rings trilogy, Babu Frik, voiced by Shirley Henderson, who is from Harry Potter, and D.O. Zorii, Jannah, Beaumont Kin, and Babu Frik are all allies with the Resistance. D.O. is a little droid that also wanted to help the Resistance. Now for the villains. Kylo Ren, played by Adam Driver, General Hux, played by Domhnall Gleeson, General Pryde, played by Richard E. Grant, who is from The Player, Bram Stoker's Dracula, The Age of Innocence, Corpse Bride, and Logan, and Emperor Palpatine, played once again by Ian McDiarmid. Kylo Ren is a dark Sith warrior, and in this film is now the new Supreme Leader of the First Order. General Hux and General Pryde are both commanders of the First Order. Emperor Palpatine is the evil Dark Lord of the Sith, and former Emperor of the Galaxy, who was killed by Anakin Skywalker / Darth Vader in Return of the Jedi. I was very surprised to see Emperor Palpatine returning in this film. I thought he was supposed to be dead, but they did explain on how he survived, which I will not get too much into detail. Emperor Palpatine in this film is somewhat like Ra's al Ghul in Batman Begins. Originally, this Star Wars movie was going to be directed by Colin Trevorrow, but due to creative difference, Colin Trevorrow left the Star Wars film and decided to move on to direct the third Jurassic World film. As a result, J.J. Abrams decided to come back to direct this new Star Wars film. I have to say, J.J. Abrams still did a great job directing this film, especially the way the film looks. The music composed by John Williams sounds very epic, groundbreaking, heartwarming, and feels very nostalgia. Unfortunately, this will also be the last Star Wars movie to have John Williams to do the music for the Star Wars franchise. So overall, this is a splendid conclusion to the Star Wars sequel trilogy. This is definitely a good way to end the Skywalker saga. In my opinion, The Rise of Skywalker is the second best of the Star Wars sequel trilogy. I still think The Force Awakens and the original Star Wars trilogy will always be the best Star Wars movies for me. I actually love this Star Wars movie slightly more than The Last Jedi, but love it more than Rogue One, the Star Wars prequel trilogy, and Solo. It's definitely better than that god-awful CGI Clone Wars movie and that crappy holiday specials. While it's not really in the same level as Avengers Endgame, and despite mixed reviews, I love this Star Wars movie from what it is. The Star Wars sequel trilogy is over, but apparently there will be more Star Wars projects coming in the future. Anyway, if you're a fan of Star Wars, go see it, and may the Force be with you. So I give this movie 4.5 out of 5 nuclear bombs.